So this is a very important lesson that I would like to share on day 7. So automation, AI automation, it really is kind of the same. So we can consider AI or your automation like your employees or your co-workers or your teammate, right? So it's kind of like controlling or guiding a team, your team, to accomplish a mission. Then, as a project manager or any person that is responsible in guiding a team, a team leader, you want your team, your mission to start from A to B, right? So that's a straight line, okay? A to B. But in reality, we most of the time, if a team is not well managed or there's a lot of pivotal point, it's kind of just trend and just trend and got to see where you are. You just end up in the C place, and this is a huge gap. Let's change. There's a huge gap over here. That's a gap. Now, this as a team, this might take like 1 month. It depends on how long it takes to accomplish the project, the mission, or maybe 3. It depends on the product, software, hardware. Maybe hardware will maybe take 3 months to half a year. But with AI automation, now this timing, it's gonna shorten right here. So that will be like A to C. So imagine just like 1 to 2 days. You go from A to C, right? Or you go from A to D, like C plumb, right? And you suddenly end up in a lot of places. So if you have multiple tries, like if you're using Cloud Code and you use task as a main function of coding, so you can code multiple versions of one specific function, and you can pick which one you want. Now, that will mean you're going to a lot of places in a very short period of time, right? And then you get the idea. When the project goes on, either you fix what's going on and you come back to where you want, the B point. So you go here and you end up back in B. So that's a problem solving, or maybe fixing the guidance of the project. However, in 1 to 2 days, and without the mechanism, a well-structured mechanism of controlling the AI or guiding the AI, you're gonna start from C, going to D, or maybe I, R, S, and it just goes on and on and on. And if your initial goal was to go to B, That'll be a much bigger gap between your goal. That's let's say it's a R, and that's a B. And that's a very big gap. That's gap 1, and that's gap 2. And that's it's a very short time, so it might be like 5 days, right? However, this gap, if you want AI to fix this gap, it might take over 5 days. So you might as well just start over again. So one, if you want a lot of different versions, you can set AI free, and it will possibly lose control, very possibly lose control. Or on the other hand, we got to find out a way or establish a well-structured guidance to guide the AI from when it when it goes off course, it pulls it down back on course. So it's like a cosine or sine, something like that. So what we really want is, if it's only a one feature, what we really want is AI to sketch a lot of versions. It's gonna go really crazy, like A and a bunch of B's, or a bunch of C's, a bunch of versions, and finally it ends up in the B. We'll say B plumps, because when it goes in iterating between versions, we might get something unexpectedly good, better than expected, and that's a great place to be in. But if you're here, that is just worse, more than worse. It's just a huge gap that you have to fix. So that is where I am there right now. That's a very much a beginner's mistake that I shouldn't have made. But I was just I'll give myself an excuse, because Cloud Code is super helpful, and it just gave me a bunch of choices, a bunch of really fast forward the progress to here in a really short time. So I wasn't setting up all those mechanisms from the beginning, and I had to work my way from here to down here. Okay. Now, I learned a lot from this problem solving progress, but I suggest that if you're not into problem solving, or you want your AI to function really fast, you might as well just while you're developing a project, save your Claude.md guidance, and then use on the other project, similar project, or you can save those general settings like saving, version controlling, pivot points, all that. But set it at the very beginning, or use someone's template to do that. I will share my template, but it's not ready yet. Just like I said, I'm still building my guidance to get this gap, eliminate this gap, and back to where I want to go. Okay. But fortunately, on that quite disappointing point, or a mistaken point, I somehow fixed or improved my interface design a lot. Now the table is still cramped, the filter is still, the layout is still out of place, and some can still be adjusted. The bottom are not, some of it can still be adjusted. Okay. But we basically have made a huge progress from the previous version, which is super great, super great. Okay, super great. And I'm very excited when I fix my mechanism. By those mechanism, I mean the data migration things, and we'll have a working prototype. So I'll see you tomorrow, and stay tuned, subscribe, and welcome aboard.